Hey guys, we are back with another round of interviews with our alumni, and today we have Brent Headrick, who is one of our first, or is our first draft pick, I should say. He pitched at Illinois State. He was a 2016 high school grad. He was the Friday night starter for Illinois State. He actually went undefeated in conference his senior year, I believe. Is that right?
Yep, that's correct.
And he ended up winning the Missouri Valley Conference Pitcher of the Year against Indiana in the NCAA tournament his senior year. He struck out 14 in 6 innings. He ended up getting drafted by the Twins in the 9th round last year. Brent's a left-handed pitcher who I wish I could say this about myself, but is 6'6", 227 pounds. And coming out of high school, just to give you an idea, he was ranked as the number 12 player in the state of Illinois by Prep Baseball Report, just to give you kind of an idea. Like I said, he's the first draft pick that Rhino's had. And personally, I couldn't have really picked a better person to be that first guy to go out there and get drafted out of Rhino baseball. He's just a fantastic kid. I should say young man now, and it holds true with what his family is all about too. His family is just wonderful, and he's been a really good advocate for Rhino baseball. And anytime that we ever ask him to do something like this, he's always all about it. So I couldn't be more appreciative of that. So Brett, thanks for coming on. Let's get started right away. Just obviously the coronavirus, crazy stuff right now, and everyone knows about it. But this was your first year going into spring training, right?
Yep.
Down in Florida. And how did that all happen? How did they tell you? How was spring training going? What was that kind of general feel and excitement? And then to have everything kind of just cut short, kind of walk through that process a little bit.
Yeah, so I came down about a month early. Went down to Fort Myers. Weather wasn't that great here, so I figured, get down there in the mid 70s, mid 80s degree weather, and it was great. The weather couldn't beat it. But we were down there I was down there since mid January, and then they called us last week into a meeting and said, you know what, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. Just stay here. It's going to be all right. We're going to stay. And we're not going to go out anywhere. We're just going to stay here and train, and everything should be fine. And then the very next day, we got the call into another meeting that said, your flights, here they are. We're sending you home tomorrow. And it was a crazy, crazy turn of events. But, everyone was kind of frustrated because we've been building up this whole time. And, things are starting to really get going. We started playing games in April. We were starting inter-squad games, games against other teams locally. But, yeah, we knew, there's nothing we can do. You kind of just got to deal with it just like everybody else is, continue to take care of business wherever home is for you. And that's all over the world for most of us. So
yeah, and that's why I kind of want one of these things is to start with that opening question, because I really want our players and players out there as well just to understand that, hey, they're not the only ones that are being affected by this on the baseball side, right? You got guys that are in the minors and the pros, and this is kind of all new to them as well, and I want them to know they're not alone, right? You got guys like yourself that worked extremely hard all off season, and I can contest because I saw you pretty much every day in our facility during the day. You were in there with one of your good friends, another Rhino alumni, Jordan Walden, and you put in a lot of work, and all of a sudden everything gets kind of stopped in its tracks, and our players are the same way. So kind of what are you doing right now to really stay prepared, just in case things do get started back up, or even going into next year? Like, what are you doing now that you're at home and hanging out? How are you kind of preparing yourself to be ready?
Yeah, the biggest thing is we all have something to prove each year we go out there. So the biggest goal is just be healthy and get ready once you're there and to make a big impact. So once I got home, I immediately started throwing outside. It was cold, but I made it happen. And then was going to the local gyms. And once they closed down, you didn't have many options. So actually, earlier today, I went and I bought a small weight set and something to put in the garage, just so I can get by for this time. And, I can still throw outside for now. It's not too cold, and I can take care of that stuff. So it's tough, yeah, but everyone's going through it. So you just got to find a way. No matter what it is, there's always some sort of way that you can make yourself better.
Sure. So kind of walk me through. I always think this is fascinating to me, being on the development side with players. But in high school, you were about 6'5", 6'6", pretty much a stick, I would say. Pretty darn right, pretty darn tall.
Oh, yeah.
How much did you weigh your senior year in high school?
I was 185 my senior year of high school.
Okay, and now what are you at right now?
Right now I'm at 240.
So that's almost about 50 pounds or close to it.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
that's fascinating, man. That's unbelievable. How did you get to that transformation? Was it just weight room? Was it eating? Was it a combination of both? And what was it?
I always thought I ate a lot in high school, and then you go to the bigger stage and everything is just, it's bigger. You're eating more than you ever thought you could eat. You're lifting more weight than you ever thought you'd lift. And I mean, it's just a combination of both those things, because I didn't lift all that much in high school. I was big into conditioning, and I do shoulder care, and I just make sure I was healthy. But once I got to college, the lifting aspect really hit me, and and starting freshman year, I think that first freshman summer, I went down there early and I gained 20 pounds in just 3 months,
Yeah,
just like that. And over the few years, you start to learn about your body more, and you learn what's good for your body, what your body can handle and what it can't, and what's, what works for you, because not everything's the same for everybody. So for me, I kind of figured out what that was and kind of continued to use that to help me grow. And yeah, now I'm 240 pounds and I feel just the same I did before. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just all growing up and, learning about yourself.
it's crazy. It's something I always tell players, guys that are wanting to put on size and then wanting to put on weight. I'll ask them all the time, like, hey, are you eating enough? And they go, yeah, coach, I am. I'm eating as much as I possibly can. I go, okay, did you eat breakfast? And they go, no, I didn't eat breakfast today. And I go, well, that doesn't mean that you're working as hard as you possibly can to add that size. And then my next question to them all the time is, well, how many calories did you put in your body today? And they go, I have no idea. And I go, well, how many calories did you burn off today? And they go, I have no idea. And it's something that it's in the world that we live in. It's easy just to pick up this phone, download an
Yeah.
app, and go, okay, I ate this today. This is how much I need to put in my body. This is what I ate. This is how much came out. And guys don't really realize the benefits that come along with that. Like yourself, coming out of high school, you're probably 87, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
87 or so. And then now I bet you're probably touching 92, 93.
Yep. Up to 94 before. And the biggest thing is that, you're not going to see those changes in a week. It's going to take maybe a month, 2 months, 3 months, but in the long run, you're going to start to recover better. You may not notice anything different, but your body's going to feel that stuff, and I wake up, in the morning, for example, I wake up, make breakfast. And then for dinner, it's always some sort of chicken, vegetable, rice. You just try to get everything in, because in times like this, especially when you can't do as much as you on the baseball field as you want to,
Right.
you have to control the controllables. So basically take care of what you can off the field. So once you get back onto the field, you're already a step ahead of everybody else. And that's one of the biggest things. And I mean, every night I track my sleep and how much sleep I'm getting, because I think sleep is one of the most important things for recovery, especially from going all day. And, your arm has to recover, your body has to recover. I think those little things are what separates some people from the rest. And I think those, not only they make you feel better, but they make you feel more confident in yourself, more like, like you are ready to go. So I think that's huge.
Yeah, I currently have a 3-month-old at home, so I'm not getting any of that sleep. So,
Gonna say you probably doesn't show up on there very much.
yeah, even if I wanted to track it, it'd be no good. But it's kind of funny. I was just actually had this conversation with Cam Galgano, who's going to be doing a lot of our speed strength and agility going forward, and we just had that conversation that the hardest part I think about lifting and eating right is it's not immediate satisfaction. It takes a while to see those gains. It takes a while to see that improvement. But guys really just got to make it part of their daily routine, and before you know it, it may take a couple weeks, a month, 2 months, but before you know it, it will make a huge impact on guys' games. They don't see it right away, and that's hard for players, I think, at that age.
Especially, and I mean, at the beginning when I first started lifting, I wasn't very strong, so it wasn't very fun when you're not very strong, to try to go in the weight room and lift. But I mean, the bigger you start to get, and the more you start to realize how much your body's affected by it, you can see it. I mean, that changes dramatically on the field right away, and things like that. I think that pushes guys to even work harder. But it's more about, before you see results, it's about continuing on that path and just being determined every day when you go into the weight room.